It's important when you go through the divorce process that you understand where you are at emotionally. There's a wide spectrum and a wide range of emotional states that a person goes through when they are going through the divorce process, but all of those states can fit into usually one of three categories. And I want to discuss those three categories and why it's important to understand where you're at. The first category is the I love you state. If one of the parties is still wanting to remain in the marriage, wanting the marriage to try and work, wanting to try and reconcile, it's important to understand that if you are that person or if you're not that person, what that means. That is an individual that is going to be very hurt at the idea of a divorce happening, especially if the other individual does want the divorce. If you are still in love and wanting the marriage to hurt, or wanting the marriage to stay together, it affects your decision-making process, because one moment you will be begging the person to stay with you. What can I do? Can we go to marriage counseling? Can we try to work on things? The next minute, out of anger, you might be throwing dishes and in a rage that's uncontrollable, and sometimes that can happen in the same 5-minute period. If you are still in that I love you state, please let your mediator know that, because they can help you to understand and process where you're at there and prevent you from making decisions irrationally. The other end of the spectrum is the indifferent phase, which is I don't love you, I don't hate you, I just can no longer invest in this relationship. That's the most common emotional state that we see, is where one person is still in I love you land and the other person has become indifferent. The place in between is that I hate you land, and if you still both can say to each other that you hate each other, believe it or not, you can still salvage the relationship sometimes, because you still are willing to invest emotionally. A person who is indifferent, they have detached from the relationship and they no longer have the ability to invest at any level. For a person that is still in I love you land, that is a very, very hard thing to grasp, because they can't wrap their head around the fact that the indifferent person is not able to emotionally connect anymore. Once you understand what emotional state you're in, it will help you to understand your ability and your limitations on being able to make decisions in a divorce process. And the mediator will help you understand that and understand what those limitations are, and also prevent you from making decisions that are later on you're going to be regretting.